I want to walk you through my number one favorite VWAP strategy. And in my opinion, it's one of the easiest ones to understand once you go through the material, once you put it into practice, do some markups, study it. It's going to take time, but it's very easy and simple to understand if you could just cut out all the other noise, all the other trades that you know you shouldn't take, and just focus on these ones that we're going to go over here. You'll find you don't need a lot of trades to make a lot of money. I just want to go over my month of July so far, that this strategy, a lot of the markups we're going to look at today are going to be reliant on trend to be present in the market. I need that trend to continue to go hit my take profit, whether I'm long or short, right? So when we're not having trending days, whether we're stuck in a range or just moving very slow, those are the days that I struggle, and I'm sure you guys struggle with the most, because I'm playing a trending idea that in order for me to win, the outcome needs to have trend follow through. So if there is none of that, I'm not going to win playing that idea, right? So that's when you generate other ideas and try to play the market conditions that it's giving you. But I just remember on the 8th here on Tuesday that there was no trend, no follow through. It was very, very sideways. So surprise, surprise, I play my trending ideas, but the follow through was not trending. So I lose. So it all becomes about what are the conditions today? What am I looking for? Should I believe that this trade could win today because there is trend or there's not trend? So take a look at some markups here first. This was just the most recent trade I took today at the time of recording this video. That to start off with, what could be better? Well, if you look at the New York VWAP, which is here in black, and the opening range are these black horizontal levels, the first 15 minutes of the New York Open, the New York VWAP is very flat. So the sentiment doesn't have strong buyers in control or strong sellers, right? I've made a video about not only taking into account the VWAPs, but also the slope of it. And the fact that it's flat today is not the greatest sign. But that's why there's other conditions in these and other variables in this strategy to help give you that little edge that you want to be looking for in direction. So on this one, I don't have the markup of it, but the 15-minute was looking more bullish above the overnight VWAP. And if any of this confuses you, like I said, rewatch it again. Go watch my other videos as well. I also teach it fully in depth on Futures 2.0 on ASFX TV, so you can go check that out as well. But for this setup here, it makes a new high a day outside the open range high. That's confirming that I do want to be looking for longs, despite this previous day's New York VWAP being above us. Could be a little bit sketchy. It could be resistance. But the break of an open range high is very telling that buyers are in control. So I don't want to be chasing that first break, though, because that often doesn't run. If you've seen my videos, you've heard me say that plenty of times. But then we let it pull back to New York. See if sellers can take control. In this case, they don't take control. Okay, nice. Buyers are holding in. Now, my signal on this idea is going to be a break of high a day VWAP, right? This purple one is just anchored to the high of day. The break of a high a day VWAP is going to be telling me buyers are 100% back in control. And on this idea, you want to give a stop loss fully at structure at opening range low. Give it all the room that it possibly would need before it makes a new low of day. If it makes a new low of day, you don't want to be long. It just doesn't make sense. But if we're trading mid-range, the current structure here, the most current higher low that you have, is the least safe spot to put your stop loss. Everyone that went long there knows that a stop loss makes sense here. So they're going to put it there and probably lose 5 times out of 10, if not more. So give it all the space so you don't get tagged out on these ideas early. You could always get back in like this. It makes another new high a day afterwards. We're not chasing higher highs on this idea, right? All these trades are coming after a pullback. I want to see the pullback come in. I'll get in before the next leg, right? So like I was saying, I kind of need trend to be present because I'm getting in on a pullback. Let's go make the next higher high. Well, if there's not enough gas to go make that next higher high, I'm probably not going to win, right? For many examples. But this one's a clear, nice bounce off of New York VWAP. The same place we just bought it off of back here. It's respecting that VWAP again and still building bullish structure on the bottom. The break of a high day VWAP is the trigger point to get in long. So same thing, makes a nice new high of day, you make money. But the stop loss would not have been tapped here. You're allowing it to develop that trend and work itself out. Let's look at one back here with clear drawings on it. Now you see the 15-minute involved with it of this red circle, not chasing the first break of open range high. You can see it goes up like 5 points maybe. Not a lot of follow through, but let it pull back. Buyers defend this New York VWAP with a higher low in the yellow circle there. And the same thing, break of high day VWAP is going to be my entry point. Tell me buyers are back in control. Now is the time we're most likely to go continue that trend that I'm seeing as very bullish. When's that next leg likely to come in? Well, the break of high day VWAP is telling me now. So that's when I get in, and you can see this one rips right into profit. Now the left side here, where do I get this long bias from? Is the overnight VWAP. You can see that black VWAP similar to the New York on the 1 minute on our right side here. The 15-minute, the overnight or the daily VWAP anchored to the changeover of day. is going to be that VWAP, and I'd like to get in and around that price. You can see we get nice pops back into trend in that direction from that VWAP. So when I can get the 1 minute to be giving me clear trending price action and the 15-minute giving me right off a key level, becomes one of the most beautiful trades, which is why we have to be in this, and I had to mark it up so you guys could see it. Now we look at this one. Same idea. New high a day, not chasing it, but a break of high day VWAP is very telling that buyers are in control. And we mentioned it in the first markup. Notice the slope on this VWAP of the New York in black, arching up that buyers are in fact in control, making bullish structure of higher highs and higher lows. I probably want to be a buyer. And same idea. This is a bounce play off of New York as buyers defend it, clearly building higher lows. Just go continue the trend. And like I was mentioning in the beginning of the video, let's pretend this day was not trending or the trend disappears and it just makes a new low. Well, yeah, I'm not going to win a trending bullish idea if the trend disappears and becomes choppy. That just makes a lot of sense. So I got to take these setups when it is looking trending. And if it loses, that's not anything to be afraid of or sad about, because it's just a trending idea that didn't have trending follow through onto the next trade. But as long as trend continues that day on that idea you're playing, you're going to win more times than not. That's the whole idea. This is another idea of a loss. New high a day, pull back to New York VWAP here in black. Buyers defended really well with a higher low. The New York VWAP's even outside of the open range high. These black horizontal levels, right? Clearly looking like nice bullish structure. It follows through a little bit, but trend did not continue. Came right back down. Well, all right. Well, if trend wanted to be bullish like it looked like it wanted to, this would have won. As silly as that sounds, that would have won if this, if that. That's a very slippery slope that I try not to go down. But you get what I'm saying. The 15-minute on this one could have been a little bit better, because you can see it's not as bullish, screaming at you that trend is going to continue higher. Maybe the trend isn't actually bullish. So why am I expecting it to continue higher when the trend is maybe bearish, right? So you want to get the 15-minute and the 1 minute to both be clear in the same direction like it was on this trade back here. Clearly the 15 minutes looking bullish above that black line and the 1 minute. But when the 15 minutes like right at it and the 1 minute's above it, a little bit conflicting. But you come back into these other days, clearly bullish, higher highs and higher lows, nice pullback, break of high day VWAP, go continue the trend. Don't really need to spend much more time on that markup. It's very simple. As long as you're not just chasing higher highs, right? You see this big move higher and you're like, okay, let me get in now. And it gives you a little bit of move. Okay, let me just get in now. Don't be chasing the higher highs and higher lows, right? Wait for a significant pullback. If you miss a move, you're going to miss a move. You're not going to catch it all anyways. Then just let it drift higher. Have that confidence, like I was saying. If you do a lot of these markups, you're going to get confidence on just how many times this strategy does present, that you're not going to be fearful of missing a move like, oh my God, this is going to be the last one. You're going to fully believe that there's plenty to go around. You just have to wait for it. So rather than just chasing this drift here, let it pull back. Now's your time and now's your opportunity for you to make money. Everyone else can play with this all they want and try to make money each and every day. A lot of times they'll get burnt because they jump in at the top, and you pick your spots more precisely with a lot more patience and discipline, and you'll feel a lot more better about yourself, and the results will probably speak for themselves. Let's look at a short side here of lower highs and lower lows. Inversely, like we were saying, new low of day. Not chasing that. Don't want the worst price at that time. Pull back. Buyers can't take New York. Okay, very telling, because we made a new low a day. I want to be a seller, but let me make sure that sellers hold in. Now the second time they take that low a day VWAP, let's go make the next lower low, right? So I'm selling at the same price as that previous lower low we were talking about, but after a pullback. I don't want to jump in at the bottom of a move here where I just saw 4 straight candles down, small little pullback, 4 candles straight down. Now let me get in. Wait for a pullback so I can get in before the next move is loading up, ready to leave the station, I would say, right? So you can see it's loading up here, finally ready to go. So I don't want to get in when it already went. You missed the train. Wait for the pullback, get in on the next train. There's plenty to go around. They're running all day. Now last one here to look at as well. New high a day, pull back to New York, right? Looks simple, break of high a day. Why didn't this run for a clear new high a day all day throughout the afternoon? Well, if you look on the left side, the 15-minute, it's not actually very bullish. We're running into a bunch of VWAPs, which I'm not going to go over in this video. I have plenty of videos about them, of the previous days New York and start a week. That this one's another example of the 15-minute maybe looking bullish, but I don't really want to trade maybe. I want to trade what looks very probable and very clean, I'm not confused. So the 1 minute looks super bullish, 15 minute not so much. Which one should I believe? Which one should I follow? Which one's going to follow through? Well, I don't really want to have to decide which one's going to, although sometimes we'll try it because we think we know. You're better off, like I said, waiting for the ones that are super obvious, not too obvious that you're joining in late to the party of jumping in at the top, but it's pretty obvious that this day, maybe the trend doesn't want to move higher because there's a lot of VWAPs in our way. So make sure you keep that in mind of you want trend to be in agreement across multiple time frames, that it's actually trending for more than just 5-10 minutes, right? And let's look at one last one here, not the strategy, but we'll all take trades like this, just how we are. We watch all these videos, we like trading, we love trading. We're all going to start taking trades like this at some point, right? On a day that's not super trending. It actually moved lower at the open, sitting sideways, but you're going to play these ideas, and I don't blame you. You get bored, you get antsy, you get whatever. But overall, if you can limit the amount that you take of these, because these are a lot harder to win over the long term, in slow days, in ranging markets, counter to the New York VWAP, all these different things, right? You'll make money on them sometimes, but if you could trade this consistently, you can see how many times it marked up almost every New York Open. You'll feel a lot better about yourself. You'll feel less stressful because the setups are in the direction of trend. It really normally tells you if you're right or wrong pretty quickly, so don't really need to sit through a lot of chop hoping you're eventually going to end up on the right side of things, right? So if you could just stick to these simple New York VWAP, 15-minute trend, that overnight VWAP, right? And the open range high levels, and just look for the next leg of trend. I think a lot of it just boils down to a little bit of FOMO. Look for the next leg of trend. Don't try to hop in on the one that's currently moving, right? If it looks like it's moved without you, don't look for a way in now. Accept that you missed it. Look for the next one and start game planning of what do I need to see to get in the next one, rather than just let me just jump in now and hope it keeps going higher. Don't chase the top of a move. Wait for a pullback. There's always more around the corner, and sometimes even a better trade. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, make sure you check out AceFX TV, where we live stream all these trades every day. But if you go to Futures 2.0 here, here's the full strategy, the full breakdown on all the levels that you need, of all the VWAPs that you need. Where should your stop go? Where do you take profit? All these different things. So if you want access to that, you can just use code Evan. You can even start a free trial and tune into the streams for free as well. So make sure you do that if you want to learn more about this strategy. But I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Feel free to leave a like, leave a comment of anything that confuses you, what videos you guys want to see next about the strategy, the live trading, anything. All right? So I appreciate you. Trade safe, and I'll see you guys on the charts tomorrow morning.